Hello, everyone. A very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the LVC for Strategic Management. My name is C. Arjit Sethi, and I welcome all of you. Very happy to see so many people on a Saturday morning. A good morning. I see a lot of people in the chat. Thanks again. Like I said, this is your class. Make use of this class as much as you can. Talk as much as you can on the chat, drop your questions, ask your doubts, and at the end of the session, like we always do, is probably open the question ask session where I will unmute you, you raise your hands, you can ask your questions, and like always, be respectful for with your friends, with the faculties, and that's all we want, okay? Awesome. So we've been doing chapter number 1. We will finish chapter number 1 today. I have also uploaded an assignment last week. How many of you got a chance to look at the assignment? Give me an okay, thumbs up, raise your hand, whatever you want to do in the chat. I will get to know if you guys have seen that or not. How many of you got a chance to look at the assignment that I had uploaded? Thank you, Prem. I see Prem says, seen. Awesome. Who else? Nobody else? Has nobody else seen the assignment already uploaded for chapter number 1? That was for your practice. Like in the last class, ma'am had said that we'll be uploading assignments for you to solve. How many of you have even seen that? Only one person, which is very interesting. Okay, and which is sad if you haven't. Anyway, we'll discuss the assignment we uploaded, but every session we will upload an assignment. For every chapter you will have an assignment for you to practice. Boys and girls, this is for you, so make use of all the resources that are being catered or curated for you, please, right? So my request is, we've been putting so much effort for you guys. If you guys don't want to use it, the efforts just go to waste, which is not what we want to do. Okay, so we're putting hours and hours for you to create stuff. If you guys are not using, doesn't make sense. Okay, anyway, let's go to chapter number 1. We've been talking. What was the last topic we ended our chapter 1? Who remembers? Let's see. Who remembers what was the last topic we were talking about in chapter number 1? The chat is open. You can drop your comment on the chat. What was the last topic we were doing in chapter number 1? I want each one of you to be really, really active, please. Otherwise, it's a very boring class. I will keep speaking. Nobody responds, nobody answers. It's not a lecture. It's a platform where we talk together, we learn together. Okay, so use this platform. Strategic intent, vision, mission, intent. Okay, did you guys take a chance to go one step ahead of where we stopped and look after what are the different characteristics of objectives? Did anybody get a chance? Did anybody go and read themselves the characteristics of objectives? Did anybody do that? Was anybody able to go and read about objectives, long-term objectives? Anybody who did that? Okay, I think the answer is no. None of you have probably gone back after the session and done anything, is what I gathered. No assignment done, no further chapter read, study material. Anybody of you who went and opened the study material after the session? Anybody went back and studied the study material? Miss P. Uh, Miss P, it will be good if you put your full name. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Miss P, how do I know who are you? Okay. Next time, maybe when you join, put your name as well. Only one person in the chat says, I have studied study material. Okay. Almas says, yes, studied. Two people. Wonderful. Really excited to teach you guys because nobody is interested in going back self-study. Everybody just want. No problem, Smriti. Now I remember. Miss P. Smriti. Okay. Very interesting. I think we are putting so much hours for you. I don't see a response, but that's okay. we're still in the beginning of the syllabus. My request again is so much material for you guys. Go practice, go read. Otherwise, it's easy to come back and crib that I am not able to clear my examinations, I don't get good marks. I can tell you why. I can tell you right away why you guys probably will feel that I'm not able to clear the examinations. You guys are not putting that effort. I can clearly see, right? Things are being uploaded, things are being done, but no response. Anyway, okay, let's get into where we were. Chapter number 1. We talked about the flow. We talked about what are the different things you do when you're doing strategic management, how you build a reaction and being proactive with the strategy. We talked about all these things. We talked about how it guides the company through changes. We talked about all of this. You see my notes here as well. Notes are also uploaded just in case you guys want to study if you have time. Okay. So that's also there. The importance of strategic management. There were 7 importance that we discussed of strategic management: increases longevity, serves as a corporate defense mechanism, defines goals and missions, helps the organization to figure out what needs to be done. It's a blueprint, a long range decisions, right? Prepares the organization to face the future. The limitations being time consuming, very costly, difficult to estimate. The environment keeps changing. 4 drawbacks of strategic management. We did a question. We were talking about intent. With more power, with great power comes more responsibility. You have to have a value system. You have to have an intent to do a business. And based on your intent, you create a vision and a mission. Okay. Now, let me get to the topic because I think you just want to study the content. So let's not get into many examples for you and get right to the content. Okay. Here we go. Objectives. What are objectives? Objectives are something which tells you what needs to be done. It's breaking down your entire mission workflow into smaller actions. Okay, that's called objective. Now, objective is something which is very interesting for an organization. Why? Because there are certain characteristics for an objective to be a real game changer. Now, think about this. Objective should define the organization's relationship with the environment. It shouldn't be कि environment कहीं जा रहा है, आपका objective कहीं जा रहा है. Your objective should be in line with your environment. It should facilitate towards achieving the mission and the purpose. Okay. Now, if your mission is to be a 500 crore business in 5 years, your objectives have to work towards that. Your objectives cannot be to stabilize the business. The objectives also have to be around growth of the business. Okay. They should provide the basis for strategic decision making. Objective के basis पे decision making होनी चाहिए. If the objective is being achieved, that's a great decision. If it's not being achieved, maybe you need to change your decision. Number 4, they should provide standard for performance appraisal, right? Which means it should set a benchmark saying, oh, did you do a great job or not? Standard for performance appraisal. We'll talk about some examples as well, okay? If you guys are interested, we'll talk about examples. Otherwise, if you don't think we should do examples, which I see, right? Disinterest, but that's okay. They should be concrete and specific. Okay, they should be very concrete and specific. It should be related to a time frame. They should be measurable and controllable. You should be able to measure it and control it. Very challenging, should correlate with each other and should set within the constraints of the organizational resources. ऐसा ना हो आपके पास लोग नहीं है और आप ऑब्जेक्टिव बनाने निकल पड़े हैं. Right? So let me give you some examples. Now, a business, okay, there's a business of making t-shirts. There's a t-shirt business. Let's say any business you pick up, so many brands online, let's say Soul Store or a Nobero, all these ads you see on the Instagram. Have you heard about these brands? Soul Store? Anybody? Give me an okay, yes, thumbs up, anything in the chat. Have you heard about this brand, Soul Store? No? Okay, no worries. There's an online fashion brand which is like a little premium, and they've been in advertising a lot on the Instagram. Okay, so let's say what are the objectives they would have in an organization? They would say, okay, it should facilitate towards achievement of mission and purpose. Now, the mission is to probably become a 200 crore business. Now, the objectives that they create in their business, let's say, this week we need to start a new campaign taking Hardik Pandya as the brand ambassador, and we have to see how much the sales jumps in first week. ये मेरा ऑब्जेक्टिव है. ठीक है जी. My objective is to start a new campaign. Think about this. My objective is to start a new campaign where I take Hardik Pandya as my brand ambassador, and then I will see how much does the sales increase when I introduce that advertisement online. There's a video with Hardik Pandya. Let's see how the response is from the customers. Now, this objective, okay, it should define organization's relation with its environment. The environment is about social media, the environment is digital, so my objective is aligned. ऐसा नहीं है मैं न्यूज़पेपर में ऐड दे रहा हूँ for young people. My fashion brand is for young people, and if I advertise in a newspaper, printed newspaper, किसी को नहीं पता चलेगा, right? This age, our generation is not reading newspapers physically. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube. We're not opening newspapers and then getting inspired. Oh, ये वाला इस brand से लेते हैं. That's not happening. So my relationship with this with environment, overall structure मुझे पता है, उसके साथ मेरा objective है. It facilitates towards achievement of mission, higher sales. So it's actually adding to higher sales. They should provide a basis for strategic decision making. My strategic decision making is to go digital, get a brand ambassador, get more sales, get more money. Okay, they should provide standard for performance appraisal. Right now, after the campaign, I would know how much the sales increased, so I would have a standard for performance appraisal, which means I will have a standard in mind कि यार, because of Hardik Pandya, I think my sales should almost increase like 40%. So then I have a standard appraisal. अगर 40% increase हुआ, then campaign was successful. अगर 40% increase नहीं हुआ, maybe the campaign was not as successful as we wanted it to be. It should be concrete and specific, right? Now, like I'm saying, the sales should increase by 40% by getting Hardik Pandya as a brand ambassador. Specific है, concrete है. It's related to a time frame within next 1 week. कितनी सेल बढ़ती है? I have a time frame. It's measurable. I can measure whether the sales increased or not. It should be challenging. Obviously, increasing 40% sales in 1 week is challenging. Different should correlate with each other. If you're creating another objective after this, it should talk to each other. ऐसा नहीं है एक campaign चल रहा है अलग ही, ये काम अलग ही चल रहा है. All objectives of the organization should talk to each other, eventually leading to the right mission, just common mission है. An objective should set within the constraints. Let's say if your company has a budget of 5 lakh rupees, you can't bring a Hardik Pandya. You need big budgets for cricketers as famous as him, right? Your objective should be set within the resources available with the company. So if the company has sources available, Okay, I was talking about this thing which is basically objectives. So I hope you're now clear with what objectives are, right? They have to be measurable, they have to be controllable. Probably what we have to understand is that this particular thing is that it should have the resource allocation available when you have an objective to do. Okay. Now, objectives are of two types. What we studied was the short term objective. Now, there is something called as a long term objective, which is where the business looks after things from a long term perspective. Now, what long term objective means? Now, long term objectives are not like short term objectives, like quick turnaround, measurable, controllable. They're not something that you have to do on a daily basis. Long term objective is my objective over the next 6 months, my objective over the 1 year, my objective over next 3 years. What's my objective? मैं क्या काम, what will be my actions? My actions will be maybe towards profitability. My actions will be toward productivity. My mission is not productivity, but my long term objective. Long term objective is very, very closely related with a goal. Okay, the difference between a goal and objective was very short term, goal was a little long term. The long term objective correlates with goal. We can probably use the words interchangeably as well. Long term objectives like profitability, productivity honi chahiye. I want to increase my productivity, I want to increase my competitive position, I want to work on my employee development, I want to work on my employee relations, I want to work on technological leadership, I want to work on public responsibility. I want to be a responsible company. So these are my long term objectives while doing a business rather than short term objectives, quick turnarounds. I really want to focus on something that makes sense from a business perspective. Okay. You understand? Thumbs up, please. Are we clear on objectives and long term objectives? I request each one of you to be active on the chat, please. Okay. Thanks, Priti. Thanks, Prem. Thanks, Varsha. Really helps. The response really helps. Otherwise, it feels that I'm just talking to myself. Okay. Very nice. Profitability. Apple has a long term objective of profitability. Toyota has a long term objective of productivity. Okay. Coca Cola has a long term objective of competitive position. Okay. Google employee development. Salesforce, which is an online, which is like a big, big cloud sales management, sales lead funnel management software, employee relations. Tesla talks about technological leadership. Okay. Unilever talks about public responsibility. आप 1 रुपए खरीदेंगे सर्फ एक्सेल पे, हम एक पेड़ लगाएंगे. Every time you buy a surf excel, we add 1 rupee towards the education of girl child. Okay. Public responsibility. IPL में for every dot ball we will plant a tree. Public responsibility है, right? That's a public responsibility objective. Now, the levels in an organization. I hope you all now know this, but let me very quickly give you. At the top level, the CEO, CFO, CTO, CXO, CHRO. ये क्या बोल दिया मैंने? CEO, Chief Executive Officer, CTO, Chief Technology Officer, CFO, Chief Financial Officer, CXO. What is CXO? Chief Operations Officer. Okay. X is basically talking about operations, generally used for everyone, but now we talk about operations. Okay. They are also called as COOs, CHRO, Chief Human Resource Officer. All these people, all these big men and women, all these successful men and women in corporate sit at the top level. They're called the corporate level, the senior executives, the board of directors, the corporate group of people. They take all the decisions. They take all the decisions and pass it on to one layer below them, which is senior managers, directors, senior managers, and managers. These are business level of the organization to whom the decisions are passed on, and this middle layer, this middle management then breaks it down into actionables. The top so let's say the CFO tells his team, okay, the CFO tells his team, I need zero tax litigations this year. I need zero tax litigations. That's the decision they tell to the business level manager. Now, business level manager, which is tax director, tax manager, senior managers, all of they now will start building a plan with objectives of how do we ensure that we have zero tax litigations this year. And they pass it on to the functional level, which is the real people who work, actually work in terms of files, the data, the filing, the real work happens at functional level. So decision at corporate broken down into a plan of action at business level, and the real work happens at the functional level. Question to you. Is it important for corporate level to even talk to functional level, or they should just talk to business level? Question for you. Should corporate level even talk to functional level or just to the business level? Should they follow the flow, or should they also talk to functional level? The chat is open for you. The chat is open. What do you feel? Should the corporate level people also talk to functional level or just to business level? Smriti says not necessary. Alma says only to business level. Okay, Julie says should talk to functional level as and when required. Krishna says functional level also. Neeraj says both, or Neeraj says to business level, so Neil says both. Question, my friend. People who are saying yes, they should talk to functional level, you are right. You are right. But then my question is, why do you think so? Why should they talk to the functional level? Why should they talk to the functional level? क्या होगा उससे? Why should they talk to the functional level? Think and answer. Maybe to find out their challenges in executing the target given by top level. Absolutely, Smriti. They will feel encouraged in work. They'll get motivation, Julie. Good. More efficient and effective. Great. Okay. Thanks, Sunil. What else? By doing this, they may know the requirement which help them to make plan. Absolutely. Feedback बोलते हैं इसको. They will get the right feedback. They will get the right feedback from the field, from where the probably the real action is happening. That is where they will get the real feedback. Okay. Priyanka says both ways possible. Supriya also says should also engage with functional, right? Okay, to get feedbacks. That's right, Supriya. Awesome. Yes, Priyanka, I can see your responses as well. Okay, so corporate level should also talk to functional level, but they should give decisions to business level only. Sometimes they should talk to functional level just to know where the business is heading, if the action is really being converted or the decision is really being converted into real action. Okay. How many of you have heard about strategic business unit? SBU के बारे में किस किसने सुना हुआ है? How many of you have heard about a strategic business unit, an SBU structure of an organization? Prem, don't worry, we will talk about it. If you don't know it, good. That's why I'm here. How many of you have heard about SBU, strategic business unit? Okay. I'm very happy you haven't heard about it because now my job becomes more interesting. Okay. What is a strategic business unit? Pele, before I go to the screen, listen to this story. Listen to this story, okay? You are a business person. ठीक है जी? You are a business person. You started your business. You started your business in, let's say, phone covers. Or let's take another example. Let's take something more interesting. You give me one example. Let's say, what business do you want to talk about? Give me any random business you think we should talk about. Not the company name, maybe the company name also, or maybe your own business. Give me one business name. Okay, mobiles, what else? Mobiles we have done, Varsha. Let's do something more interesting. People on the BOS app watching this live, please feel free to drop in your comments in the chat as well in the BOS. I can see those as well. Okay. Okay, let's say shoes. Okay, good. Let's go with shoes. Mobiles, laptops, Varsha, we've done. I've done mobile covers and all of that. So let's go with shoes. I see shoes. Let's go with shoes. Very nice. We're doing a business of shoes. Let's say we are doing formal men shoes. My business is I make leather shoes for men. Okay. I have brown color, black color, different sizes, size number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. For every design, I have, let's say, 25 designs. I have two colors for each design, black and brown, so 50 kind of shoes. And I have six sizes from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and smaller as well. I have six sizes, so 50 into 6, 300. Okay, black and brown, 25 designs, six sizes for every design, every color. So I have 300 products. Am I right? Yes or no? Is that so? Think about a business person. Think like a business person now. You have 300 products. Yes. अभी तो सिर्फ 25 डिजाइन है सिर्फ मेन शूज की बात कर रहा हूँ आई एम जस्ट मेकिंग मेन शूज दैट टू लेदर ओके I have 300 product lines. Fantastic. Now, I think it's not selling so much. So what I want to do is I want to get into slippers. I want to get into children, like kids section. I want to get into kids sandals, kids shoes, kid chappals. I also want to get into the daily use slippers, house slippers. And I also think I should do a spin-off of Crocs, the sandals, right? I want to do something like a local Crocs for people. So what do you think? How many product lines will I have? More than 1,000 easily. Correct, Prem? Prem says more than 1,000. Awesome. Varsha says wide range. ठीक है जी. More than 1,000 product lines to understand. ठीक है, very nice. Now my question is, यार आप अकेले business person हो. You're the sole alone business person. Okay जी. How will you take decision on which size of which color of what design, whether a kid section or a men's section or a slipper section or a sandal section? कहाँ पे you have to focus? How will you figure out where you have to focus to grow your business? मेरे को बताओ. How will you do that? My task to you is, भाई now you have created 1,000 product line business for yourself. My question is, how will you figure out कि यार मेरे को focus कहाँ पे करना है? How will you do that? Let me ask you some questions and maybe let me help you answer this. While you're typing, you can type your answer. Don't stop typing your answer. How would you like to manage your business? Let me think with you. Okay. Understand consumer preference. Smriti says understand market size and demand. Supriya says market size and demand. Uh, Bubai says quality of the product. Okay. Very nice. Let me ask you these questions. Give me a very quick yes and no. Okay? I want you to answer in yes or a no. Will each category have a different competitor or a competing brand? Will each category have a different competition? Yes. ठीक है जी. Majority people are saying yes. Will each product line have a different consumer, age group, gender, preference? Will they have different things? Okay. Will each product line have a different price point? By men's shoes, I can sell it at 1,000, but kids' shoes, I think I will have to sell at 400, 500 only to get more market. Maybe that's how I want to position myself. Yes. Price different है, consumer preference different है, customer different है, product different है. So how can I decide where to focus? How will you as a business decide where to focus, my friend? What you'll do is the answer lies in the concept on your screen. It's called strategic business unit. What do companies who have so many product lines, companies which have many product lines, create a structure of their business which is called strategic business unit structure. Now, how will we create an SBU in your business? What we will do is we will create an SBU called as men footwear. We will create an SBU called kids footwear, and we will call another SBU called new age funky footwear, where we have cool sandals and crocs and all these accessories and all of the stuff, very cool, different, colorful products in a new age segment. So what I've done is I have divided my business into three business units. I have divided my business into three different units. Okay. It's called, one is men footwear, kids footwear, and new age footwear. Now each segment or each business unit has a different strategy. Each business unit will have a different strategy altogether. Men footwear will focus on black leather shoes, which are most selling. Now, when I sit down and say, oh, what's happening in my men footwear business unit? People say, oh, okay, size 9 black is the most selling product. And I say, what are the what are the bottom three lowest selling products? They're like, there's a brown loafer size 6 doesn't sell. I like, stop making that. Then they say, okay, there is a black slip-on shoe leather and the size number 11 doesn't sell. I say, remove that product from the line. Now, I can take decisions easily when I figure out कि भाई इस business में क्या चल रहा है. Then I go to the next business, kids section में क्या चल रहा है. People say, okay, the sandals are selling, but we are only able to sell soft cushion sandals for kids, which are like a 900 rupee product, and the hard sandals, which is 400, 500, they don't sell. People don't want hard sandals, even though they are cheaper. I'm like, very good for us. Let's stop hard sandals and we start marketing our product as the softest sandals for your kids. Strategy बना दी मैंने अपने business unit के लिए कि भाई stop everything, only focus. If this is what is selling, this is what the customer wants, this is, I have figured out here, customer is ready to pay 900 for my product. They're looking for softness for their kids. So why am I even making 20 products for kids? Let me stop everything and just sell a product saying, oh, okay, let's say my footwear's name is Coco Footwear. So I advertise saying Coco Footwear, the softest sandals for your kid. That's it. This will become a banger campaign and my sales can go skyrocket, right? Think about it. How am I able to take this decision is because now I have created separate strategic business units. I have a different strategy for each business unit. My strategy of soft cushion 900 price point doesn't work for men's section. That's a different strategy there. For a new age, I figure out something similar as a different strategy. When I say strategy, when I say strategy, it does not just mean marketing. Please remember, my friend, please remember, हमेशा confuse हो जाओगे. Strategy does not mean just marketing. Strategy means everything that we have studied so far. Analysis of your environment, your strengths, your weakness, core competency, competitive advantage, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. पूरा strategic management उस business unit का आप separately you will have to do. That's called strategic business unit. Focus strategy हो जाती है. The resource allocation is then funded. You know, okay, which of the three businesses is working. Now, if I'm sitting at the top, I have three business units, and I figure out, yeah, maybe my new age thing is not selling. Some other brand has more competitive advantage over me. I will pull out all the money from new age business and put it in the kid section if that's selling the most for me, right? That is resource allocation. Third is performance measurement. Now, each SBU can be evaluated independently. I can take performance measurement to the next level. I can evaluate each business separately and figure out what is working, what is not working for me. That is where SBU, strategic business unit, comes into the picture. Is it clear? Give me a big yes. Caps lock में yes भेजिए if this is clear. If you're clear, send me a big caps lock yes, or clear also works. Thanks, Sunil. Thanks, Varsha. Awesome. Almas, Smriti, awesome. Judy, clear to you? Very, very happy. Okay, thank you, Supriya. Thanks, Priyanka. I see you on the BOS chat as well. Very happy you have understood SBU. This is something how SBU. Kaushik, thank you. My SBU shoes is fashion with age. Oh, okay. Awesome. Your SBU can create basis age as well, which is great. It depends on how you want to manage. Okay. Great point there, Sunil. So SBU can be created based on anything that you feel makes sense. Okay. Bye, thanks for that, Jess. It's good that you understand. Another important thing to remember is SBU can be created based on anything that you feel makes sense for you. You can create based on location कि भाई North India SBU, South India SBU, East India SBU, West India, Central India. 5 SBUs बना दिए मैंने. I can have basis the age group of customer. I can have SBU based on the price point range. कि भाई my SBU is 0 to 1000 rupee product, 1000 to 5000, 5000 to 10,000 rupee product. I can have based on technology. Like in televisions, it's like is it a plasma TV? It's an LED, it's an OLED TV, or is it a smart TV? It is not a smart TV. They are SBUs, right? SBUs बन जाते हैं उसके अंदर. That's how you, it's up to you how you want to manage your business. You do not necessarily have to go by the book. You can create an SBU based on any criteria you feel makes sense for you to take decisions. Okay. The relation between the three organizational levels in what we have studied is the corporate, the middle, and the lower, right? The functional and the divisional relationship. Now, understand this. It is an independent relationship where each function is run independently, headed by a function or a division. Now, functions are something which are functional level. The bottom level are functions like finance, HR, marketing, human resource, then procurement, all of these. Now, these have to work very closely with business people so that all decisions, plans made are actually executed. It's a vertical relation, right? कि भाई ऊपर से आएगा नीचे फंक्शनल टीम को काम करके देना है. They have to figure out how to convert that decision into an executable action and then execute also. It's a vertical relation. Now, horizontal relation is for all positions from top to staff level are in the same hierarchical position. Now, sometimes in organizations, what happens is that's a flat organization. Anybody can go anywhere. Now, the relation between the three organizational levels really depends on how you want to manage your company. Again, there are different ways to have a strategy. There are different ways for running an organization. You can either follow the top down hierarchy where ऊपर से decision आता है, नीचे वालों को आता है, they pass on the pressure to the bottom level. Or it can be a horizontal organization where everybody can is at the same level. The staff people can go and tell the CEO, this doesn't work. Maybe you should change this. This generally happens in startups where speed is more desirable, right? More suitable for startups where you need more speed. कि भाई एक finance manager can just go to the CFO and say, oh, this doesn't work, please change. In big organizations, a finance manager will need to go through manager, director, senior director, VP, then reach to a CFO. Directly ऐसे message नहीं कर सकते हो आप, right? And the third layer is called a matrix relation. Now, this is basically complex for smaller organizations, but very, very useful for big, large organizations where things intermingle, right? अब जैसे for example, we are creating SBUs. Now, SBU banane, so somebody in finance in men's footwear category can also go and help somebody in the kids footwear category. A kids wala can help a new age person, can talk to that, can shift here, can work together. Now it becomes a matrix structure. You're not working in isolation, but you have intermingled all different departments, all different SBUs working together. It becomes more like a matrix structure where people are talking to each other, random idhar se udhar mix ho raha hai sab kuch. We'll talk about this in chapter number 5. We talk about in depth in chapter number 5, but this is chapter number 1 for you to understand that there are different kinds of relationships between an organization. It's an introduction to your strategic management. So remember this, but the questions or the concepts will be more deeper in chapter number 5. Same concept is in chapter number 5. Okay. But what you need to remember here is SPU. Are we clear on this? Are we clear on this? This is chapter number 1 is done. Chapter number 1 is done. Now I'll go to the assignment that I had uploaded. I will go to the assignment that I had uploaded, right? And then we go to chapter number 2. For the next 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, we'll do the assignment. I want you to practice chapter number 1 with me because I don't see a lot of confidence right now. So I want to practice that with you. But before that, there's a question on your screen. Let me do a mid-session check-in with you guys. What do you think? How was the learning? How was the learning of chapter number 1? It can be better. You can share your candid feedback. You don't have to butter up the faculties. If you feel it can be better, please write it can be better. Would love to improve the way you learn things. I'll make sure we do that. Okay. So be very candid with your feedback. It can be better, you loved it, or you need more help. You still feel you need more help. Be very frank about it. Okay. Okay. Priyanka says you loved it. Very nice. Very clear. Smriti Prem loved it. Diana says loved it. Kaushik says loved it. Okay. Awesome. Smriti says loved it, but I did not properly do my homework. You guys have to. We are putting so much time for you guys. Please do that. Then it really feels happy that we put something out there for students and you guys learned from it, used it, and will help you clear examinations. Okay. Awesome. Don't worry, bye. You loved it, but SBU, we'll talk about SBU in chapter 5 again. ठीक है जी? Awesome, Varsha. Very nice. You loved it, but find it difficult while writing answers. Say no more. Let me start presenting the assignment that I had uploaded for you guys. Let me know once you can see the assignment, okay? Can you guys see the assignment? Awesome. Very, very nice. I have uploaded this assignment with, okay, so many questions for you, about 10 questions. And all you have to do is just go and practice, my friend. कुछ नहीं करना है. I've already worked for you on this. ठीक है जी? Let us start solving the question. Most of you face the problem कि यार आंसर लिखेंगे कैसे? Before I go to the question, I have already explained in previous session how to write an answer. How many of you remember the format of writing the answer? How many of you remember the format of writing an answer? I've already shared that in the previous session. Very nice. Introduction, body, conclusion. The body has to be always in bullet points. Okay. Introduction from the question, body in bullets, conclusion with an opinion, and your final answer underlined. Intro from the question, body and the bullets, conclusion with an opinion. What's being asked in the last sentence of the question, usko mention karna conclusion में. Please mention the statement that is asked in the question as is same in your conclusion before you give that answer. So, introduction, body in the bullets, conclusion with the statement that's been asked. Question number 1 on your screen is here. Read the question. You don't have to type the answer. Think about the answer, how you would write, and give me on the chat if you give me the keywords, maybe. Give me the keywords of the answer, what you feel should be the answer. You don't have to write the answer, but give me the keywords and tell me if you feel confident that you can write the answer. Read the question carefully. Gokul Sweets, popular mithai shop in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, traditionally focused on local festivals and word of mouth marketing. When a new hypermarket opened nearby, aggressively promoting packaged sweets, Gokul initially responded by offering discounts. However, the upfront started experimenting with online delivery through local platforms and introduced new sugar-free options catering to a growing health-conscious segment they had previously overlooked. How does How does the scenario of Gokul Sweets illustrate the blend of proactive and reactive approaches in strategic management, my friend? Now, explain the specific actions taken by Gokul Sweets and categorize them as either proactive or reactive responses to their changing environment. Pehle to, do you like the question? Do you like the question? This is like pure exam questions. These kind of questions would come in the exam. Awesome. Good to see Shreyansh, you responding in the chat as well. शायद से या मैं 8 बजे उठ के आंसर कर सकता हूँ, सुबह 7 बजे मेरे से मत पूछा करो. Just joking, Shreyansh. I hope I can do some masti with you guys. What are the keywords? What do you think? What do you think is the answer to this question? And also tell me while you're typing. Shreyansh, revision. ये Shreyansh तो topper निकला. You were doing revision. Very nice, sir. Very nice. What do you think is the answer, and how confident are you can write the answer in that bullets? Before you say something, or I think you guys are typing, I would have started the answer to this question with a statement on reactive and proactive. Okay. I would have started my answer with strategy is a blend of proactive and reactive approaches to the external and internal environment. On the same lines, Gokul Sweets truly illustrates that blend of having a proactive and reactive approach in managing their business. Then I would go to the second para and say the specific actions taken by Gokul Sweets are as follows. Then I would put a bullet and write proactive. Underline करूंगा. Sub bullet डालूंगा any proactive. One, offering discounts on existing price range. Is that proactive? Is that proactive? बताइए. Anything that they did proactively. That is reactive. What have they done proactively? ये बताओ. What have they done proactively? Sugar-free options. Absolutely. Absolutely. They upfront started experimenting. That is proactive. They proactively started experimenting with online delivery and sugar-free, health-conscious segment. The reaction was offering discounts on existing range. You categorize those two in 2 or 3 bullets, and finally you give them. Explain the specific actions, categorize them as either proactive, responsive to the changing environment. And then you conclude that Gokul Sweets very effectively and smartly did a blend of reactive and proactive strategies, which eventually every business should try to achieve. बात ही खत्म. आंसर खत्म, पीछे कदम. You guys clear how to write an answer? Give me a yes, okay. Now you get to see, अरे इतना सिंपल है यार. It's so simple. Chapter 1 क्या पढ़ा रहे हो? So simple, man. It's straightforward. But that is how easy the exam is, my friend. We're just too scared to accept. Exams are not very tough. Question number 2 on your screens, my friend. ये question number 2 पढ़िए अब. Read question number 2. Try to frame the answer in your mind and share the keywords with me while I talk around how I would write the answer. Dharti Organics, a small farming collective in rural Maharashtra, differentiates itself by focusing exclusively on certified organic produce grown using traditional, sustainable methods. While other local farmers primarily sell conventionally grown vegetables at nearby mandi, which is market, Dharti Organics has built a loyal customer base in Mumbai and Pune by emphasizing the health benefits and environmental responsibility of their products, often commanding a premium price. They also offer, okay, direct to consumer delivery, bypassing traditional intermediaries. Identify and explain the source of their competitive advantage in the given scenario. How does their unique approach allow them to potentially outperform the vegetable producers in their region? What a fantastic easy question. 5 marks जेब में है. 5 marks are in my pocket. Dharti Organics, a small farming collective, has figured out various ways to understand the consumer's preferences. Based on their understanding of the consumer's preferences, they have identified certain competitive advantages. Okay. Now, कैसे भेजा है? 1. They focus exclusively on certified organic produce, which is sustainable and traditional. They have also made it easy to reach to the customers through a direct to consumer delivery. So through a blend or through a combination of organic produce and making it accessible to the customers easily through a direct to consumer delivery, they have created a strong competitive advantage for themselves. How does their unique approach outperform? 1, their unique approach helps them outperform other conventional producers, right, who are using conventional ways and are only available in mandis, that is market, while Dharti is available in Mumbai, Pune markets direct to the consumer, is because they understand the consumer much better than their competitors. The unique approach is a testament of how important it is to understand what is valued by the customer to create a competitive advantage. Para number 3, a competitive advantage becomes a competitive advantage only when it is valued by the customer, and which is the case for Dharti Organics. Hence, we can say that the unique approach, a smart way of understanding the consumer preference and executing that through technology and through certified organic, traditional, sustainable methods, Dharti has been a success story for creating a competitive advantage. Answer हो गया खत्म. 5 marks in your pocket. Very nice. Shruti, I see your answer in the chat. I just gave it a read. Fantastic. Just try to put that into different paras or bullets and you're good to go. You are good to go. If you do that, that's fantastic. Okay, quick check-in. How many of you, after solving 2 questions, feel much more confident that you can do or you can write answers at least for chapter number 1? Awesome, Prem. Very happy you're confident now. श्रेयांश, आपके यहाँ पे same company is called Fresh. Okay, मेरे यहाँ भी है. You guys feel much better, much more confident that you can solve questions now? Very, very happy. Thanks, Varsha. Thanks. People on the BOS app watching us live, put your answers in the chat as well. Zoom I'm getting. BOS also I'm looking at. Feel free to chip in your thoughts. Okay? Chalo ji. Next question on your screen. Your favorite business. Coaching classes. बहुत अच्छा आपके लिए क्वेश्चन लाया. कोचिंग क्लासेस का क्वेश्चन लाया. ठीक है जी. Read the question carefully and share the keywords while I talk how I would have written the answer. Okay? Very nice. सब लोग कैलकुलेटर निकाल के करते हैं ना. 10,000 students per student, 20,000 rupees per subject. This teacher makes 2 crores every 3 months. So 3 attempts, 6 crores. And ये तो वो अमिताभ बच्चन वाला हो गया 7 crore. Everybody does that for coaching classes. So here's a question for coaching classes. Sharma Coaching Classes, a well-established coaching center in Patna, specializing in engineering entrance exams, initially relied solely on in-person classroom training. ठीक है जी? When COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent lockdowns disrupted physical classes, they quickly adapted by launching online classes and providing digital study materials. However, recognizing the varying levels of digital access and preference among students in their locality, they also reintroduced hybrid models with smaller, socially distanced in person sessions as restrictions eased, allowing students to choose their preferred mode of learning online or offline. The question is, how did Sharma coaching classes demonstrate strategic flexibility in response to the changing circumstances? Analyze the different strategic adjustments they made and explain why this adaptability is crucial for the survival and success of a small business in a dynamic environment like Patna. Question is talking about one statement from the syllabus. What we had discussed is strategy should be flexible. ठीक है जी? Remember the theme of the question is it should be flexible. So start your answer with that statement. Sharma coaching classes demonstrated strategic flexibility, which is imperative and important for every business doing strategic management because of the environment being absolutely turbulent and beyond the control. And similarly, Sharma coaching classes did a great job in creating a flexible strategy as follows. Bullet number one. When pandemic hit, they shifted to online classes. Two, when the restrictions eased, they gave option to the students based on their preference, whether they wanted online or offline. This is how they created a flexible strategy that every time the environment changed, first complete lockdown, then the ease of things, and they modified the way of doing business. That is a true sense of how businesses should strategically be managed, where every change in the environment is corresponded with a smart technique of solving for the consumer, with consumer as the center of all decision making. आपका आंसर खत्म हो गया. 5 marks in your pocket. The way I am giving answers, are you also able to frame answers in such a way in your mind? Is what I'm trying to ask. The way I am telling you the answers, are you yourselves able to think of answers like this? Yes or no? Yes. Good. What about others? I just see one yes. Miss P, Mr. Prem, Sunil, then I have Julie, Varsha, Krishna, Almas. You guys have already Neeraj, Kaushik, Naina. All of you have already responded earlier. किधर चले गए? Awesome, good. Not fully, but little bit. Practice. Assignment already uploaded for you on the BOS. Go download practice, my friend. Suggested answers पढ़िए. Varsha, I see your answer very well written. Good. That's how you put a bullet. That's how you put a point. Shruti, kind of practice. A little bit, Naina, practice. Now you know how to do. Let me take one last question, then probably you can go home and practice, and I'll start with chapter 2. Okay. Agrawal Engineering Works, a small manufacturing unit in Dhanbad, initially produced generic metal components for various industries. Okay. Awesome. Please start practicing, my friends. Through strategic analysis, they identified a growing demand for specialized किधर गया? Oh, high precision parts for the burgeoning auto ancillary sector in the region. They strategically invested in advanced CNC machinery, upskilled their workforce through targeted training programs, and focused on building strong relationships with a few key auto component manufacturers. Over time, Agrawal Engineering Works developed a reputation for consistently delivering high quality, custom engineered parts with tight tolerances, becoming a preferred supplier known for its technical expertise and reliability in this niche. Question is, how did strategic decisions and actions taken by Agarwal Engineering Works contribute to their success? What concept of strategic management's importance? What concept of strategic management's importance they developed, and explain how strategic management principles guided them in building this unique strength that provides them with advantage in their business. There were 7 importance of strategic management. क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है कौन सी स्ट्रेटेजिक मैनेजमेंट की इंपॉर्टेंस पे यहाँ पे काम किया गया है. Which importance of strategic management has been worked on here? Consistency, core competency, and competitive advantage. Help develop goals and objectives and give direction. Core competency and competitive advantage. That is right. That is right. Helps the organization to develop core competency and competitive advantage. आइडेंटिफाई हो गया. अब आंसर लिख देंगे इसके ऊपर पूरा. वंडरफुल. इंट्रोडक्शन, बॉडी, कंक्लूजन. Introduction, body with bullets, conclusion. Answer is ready. You have already identified. The importance is helps the organization to develop core competency and competitive advantage. Okay. Very nice. Final quick check-in, my friends. Chapter number 1 done. Are you confident? Rate out of 10. How confident are you on chapter number 1? Rate out of 10. How confident are you on chapter number 1? 8. I see 1 8. Very good number to start with. 8 is a very decent number. 8 out of 10 again. I want all of you who are active on the chat, who are not, please be active on the chat. Okay, it's your class. I can speak non-stop for hours, but still, 7, 7.5, 7 you have to revise. Okay, 7.5, 7. You will tell me tomorrow after practicing. Okay, 6 out of 10. Rest would be practice. Okay, Varsha is very conservative. Varsha, be confident. 7 out of 10 as I didn't attend the last lecture. Ah, okay, Julie, but you can see the recorded one. But good that this session you feel 7. Very happy. Varsha needs to up her confidence. इसे 6 देके खुद को अंडरमाइन नहीं करने का. Very, very nice. Okay, let us go to chapter number 2. Let us go to one of the most interesting chapters, my friend, which is chapter number 2, and it's called Strategic Analysis of External Environment. Strategic Analysis of External Environment. चैप्टर नंबर 1 हमने कर लिया. अच्छा जी, चैप्टर 2 जो है ना, it's so interesting because it's all about external environment, which is all about customers, consumers, marketing. Then we'll talk about the value chain, product life cycle kya hai, how do you create your product into a magic product. Chapter 2 एक ऐसा chapter है where you will figure out 80% of the business techniques. 80% of your business techniques or your creativity will juice out in chapter number 2. चैप्टर 2 में आपने क्या करना है, आप यू हैव टू ब्रिंग ऑल योर क्रिएटिविटी फ्रॉम इनसाइड to the top mala of your head, which is your brain, and juice it out. Chapter number 2 is absolute creative. ये बोरिंग हो ही नहीं सकता है. This chapter is all about thinking smart ways of doing business. अच्छा, उस business ने क्या किया था, अच्छा, why are they doing this, why are they doing that, why are they doing that. I will give you that answer very, very सिंपल तरीके से. ठीक है जी. I will ask you some very interesting questions right now, and I want each one of you to just juice your creativity. एकदम ऐसा निचोड़ लो जितनी creativity है related to business, your ideas, everything. Answer that basis extreme creativity. Okay. Priyanka, you gave yourself a 6. I look at the BOS. Practice. But again, 6, yeah, I would give 7, 8 to you. I know. You guys are just being conservative. Okay. Cool. Question. How many of you have seen RBI ki ad where Amitabh Bachchan comes and says, "Oh, protect yourself from frauds"? How many of you seen that RBI ad? Where Amitabh Bachchan comes and says, "Oh, do not become a fool. Be safe from all the scams that are happening." Right? Most of us have seen on television during KBC, after KBC, or here and there. We have seen that ad. ठीक है जी? Very nice. I want each one of you to answer this. This chapter is becoming more and more interesting now. The syllabus is becoming more and more interesting. My question is, why did they take Amitabh Bachchan and not somebody else? अमिताभ बच्चन को क्यों लिया होगा? Why did they take Amitabh Bachchan as the brand ambassador? ऐसा क्या है अमिताभ बच्चन में? For that particular ad, for something as serious as scams and frauds, why are they taking Amitabh Bachchan भाई? अमिताभ बच्चन को क्या लेना देना है आरबीआई से? Why do you think they wanted Amitabh Bachchan to be the face of that advertisement? Okay, Shaz is responsible person. How do you know he's responsible? आप मिले हो? शहज आप मिले हो अमिताभ बच्चन से? How do you know he's responsible? हो सकता है अमिताभ बच्चन मोटर चला के बंद करना भूल जाते हो. I don't know. I'm just like thinking. How is he responsible? Okay, another answer I'm getting is everybody knows him from old to new generation. Okay, mass appeal hai. He can be the best voice for the crowd to be aware, right? Shash, again, I'm just joking. Don't take it to heart. Okay. Everybody knows all generations can be the best voice for the crowd to be aware. His influence as A responsible elderly person. Okay. Very popular, lots of followers, people follow what he says. Absolutely. अब मुझे ये बताओ, okay, what you're saying is right. What you're saying is right. So RBI, what you are saying is, RBI figured out, yeah, I want my customers for this campaign, for this knowledge campaign or awareness campaign, my consumers or end customers are average Indians watching television who generally don't understand technology, are not tech savvy, but उनको ये message पहुंचाना है. I want to convey a message that please be aware of your scams with your money. So I should use Amitabh Bachchan, who is loved by all, respected by all, known by all, and eventually the recall value of Amitabh Bachchan is so much कि हाँ ये अमिताभ बच्चन की ad हमें याद है. Like all of us remember. So basically, what you're saying is RBI did an external environment analysis of understanding the consumer and then selected Amitabh Bachchan. So RBI also did external analysis. Yes, they did. Absolutely, they did. Now, let me ask you another question. Name a brand, any brand. कोई भी एक brand उठाओ. Name any brand जिसकी पैकेजिंग आपको बहुत पसंद आई. इट कैन बी अ कॉस्मेटिक, इट कैन बी अ परफ्यूम, अ डिओड्रेंट, अ क्रीम, a noodle packet, it can a phone, a bottle, anything that you have bought in last few months, years, whenever you felt कि यार ये packaging is so aesthetic, the packaging is so beautiful. Tell me a product, a brand that you bought and you felt कि यार क्या packaging है. Think of such product and tell. Okay, Bella Vita. Varsha says, I bought a perfume Bella Vita की. I found it very aesthetic. Shreya says, बोट की speakers की packaging मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी. Okay, very nice. Very nice. OnePlus Buds. Sunil. Okay. Sunil is a big man. Yardley perfume Krishna. बहुत अच्छे. Bella Vita perfume, Yardley perfume, chocolate box, OnePlus Buds. Now, the question is when you're thinking about that product, when you're thinking about the packaging, when you're thinking about all of this, what comes to your mind? कि यार product अच्छा था, right? That business has figured out, has done an analysis that maybe the customers want an experience right from the packaging. So value chain may they have created a value for their product in a value chain analysis. इसको बोलते हैं वैल्यू चेन कि यार किस पॉइंट पे एट व्हाट पॉइंट एम आई क्रिएटिंग वैल्यू इन द माइंड ऑफ द कस्टमर, what is the customer valuing, and how do I get more money for the value that I create. Any one of you experienced if you order something from Mintra, it comes either the same day or the next day. इतनी तेज delivery है. And if you buy from any other website, they take 3-4 days to deliver. Myntra delivers the same day. You put a return, they take return the same day as well, without any extra charge. That happens in my area. I'm telling you from my area perspective. I don't know. Maybe your area wouldn't be so well served, but many areas like mine, they're giving delivery same day, even without charging more money. That's how effective their supply chain is. So they're creating that value. So next time when I go on and purchase, and I feel chalo sahi hai, Myntra se le lete same day delivery. If I don't like the product, I'll send it back. So what they're doing is they're creating a value in my mind. That's called value chain analysis. कि यार customer को value कहाँ मिल रही है? What am I good at and how can I create that value? जो core competency or competitive advantage है, that's part of the value chain analysis. That which activity of mine is going to create value for the customer. Okay, very nice. एक और example लेता हूँ, then we get to chapter 2. I'm giving you all points of chapter. What I'm talking right now is entirely chapter 2. पूरा chapter 2 ही बात कर रहे हैं हम अभी. Let me ask you another question. You're a big business person. Let's say you have a well established business. आपके 5 stores हैं. You have clothing stores. ठीक है, लहंगा, sarees and suits, dupattas, all of that. You have 5 stores in your city. Let's say you are in Gwalior or you are in Jaipur. Let's say you are in Ernakulam or wherever you are. Okay, wherever you are. You are in Dispur, you are in Meghalaya, you are in, let's say, Nagpur, you're in Ratlam, you're in uh, Ludhiana. Okay, wherever you are, you have 5 stores of saris and lehengas and all of that. अभी ना एक नया आदमी आया है. This new person is entering your locality and they are building a big 5-floor showroom of lehengas, sarees, dupattas and suits. नया कोई brand ला रहे हैं and they are making 5-floor. अभी बस चालू ही की है. They bought land and they started constructing a 5-floor showroom. How would you ensure that they don't enter your market? With all ethical means, as I'm saying. तोड़ फोड़ नहीं, गुंडागर्दी नहीं करनी है. But how would you think like a smart business person, not a shrewd, not an unethical business person? Think like a smart business person. How can you protect your business from a new entry? How can you protect your business from a new entry? Non-compete agreement with whom? उसके साथ क्यों करेगा वो नॉन कम्पीट अग्रीमेंट आपके साथ, स्मृति? वो पैसा लगाने आया है, वो क्यों नॉन कम्पीट करेगा? Why would they do? आप प्राइस तोड़ दोगे. You will start giving less price. तो आपके कस्टमर सोचेंगे कि आप तो भाई गंदा माल दे रहे हो, प्राइस क्यों कम कर रहे हो आप. Think about it. What will you do? Improve ourselves. Good. Let me tell you what you would do. You would first try to figure out कि भाई वो सामान क्या लगाने वाला है. Maybe, 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 just maybe, first you will understand the competitor. Na? पता चले they're trying to do something which you don't do and you don't want to do. There's let's say this, but doing a particular segment. Let's say that new person opening a showroom is going to do a lot of Rajasthani clothing. Say, यार मेरे को करनी ही नहीं है. I am more modern. My clothing, my showrooms are more modern, more ethnic, more designer led. That new showroom is all Rajasthani folk and all of the colors and designs and material. They're too Rajasthani, what they are trying to do. अब क्या करोगे? आपने तो प्राइस गिरा दिया. You have already given up the price. You have done non-compete. सब कुछ कर दिया. पैसे लगा दिए अपने. You, you have not even understood what the competitor is doing. First step तो यही है ना, समझो वो करना क्या चाह रहा है. So first step is you'll understand what are they trying to do. If they are in a different segment, you don't care. But if they are in the same segment, if they are in the same segment, then you start doing smart techniques. One, figure out वो source कहाँ से कर रहे हैं. Start building your relations with the sourcing people, telling them that I want to do business with you, but there's a competitor, and we have so you strengthen your relation with the sourcing people, right, the suppliers, कि भाई मैं आपके साथ पिछले 50 साल से काम कर रहा हूँ, and there's a new guy trying to procure something, so you build a stronger barrier for them to source materials from the such suppliers. That's your relationship with the supplier. There's nothing wrong with it. You're not contractually putting pressure on them. You're just strengthening your relations. You're just using your relations to protect your business. That's how you will have to protect your business, right? Or you start telling them ki aap, you sell me, I will pay you 10% extra. Why? Because I want to protect my business. I want you to stay with me. I know the new person will come and give you more business. Let me give you more business, right? That is how you protect yourselves. Way one. Way two is you start marketing. वो अभी construction पे है. It will take them 6 months to open. This 6 months, you can heavily market yourself in your city, saying you are one of the biggest brands. You become so big as a brand in those 6 months. Pamphlets, hoardings kara di, events karwa diye, right? You did a holy party, and you just kept all your clothing there as an exhibition. You did an exhibition, you brought some local celebrity to your shop, and you had something. You spent money on creating a brand around your business, so that this new person when starts is already overshadowed by the big brand you already are in your city. You can do that. That's a barrier to entry of a new business in your segment. You're creating barriers to entry for new people, right? Porter's 5 forces model. ऐसे 5 और चीजें हैं. There are 5 other forces which push you to your limits to compete, like somebody new coming. The supplier says अरे मैं नहीं देता आपको सामान, क्या कर लोगे. Supplier pressure बनाता है. The consumer creates pressure. The new entrant creates pressure, right? Existing competition creates pressure. All these forces, all these pressures of competition, we will talk about in Porter's 5 forces, right? And how do you solve for it? होता है, हर business में होता है. That's what I'm saying. You have to be creative. Then we'll understand consumers and markets. And finally, we will understand how to understand the competition and how to win over the competition. सबसे important तो यही है. That is chapter number 2, my friend. Okay, very good. What we'll do here is 8:30. We'll take a short 10 minutes break and we will be back. And when we are back, we start with chapter number 2, which is external environment strategic analysis. Okay, quick 10 minutes break, 8:40. We should all be back. Thank you. for you to join back as well. If you can hear me, please join back. We're starting with chapter number 2. Ashim, welcome back, Shriyansh. Welcome back to everyone who's dropping a text on the chat, on the BOS app. Okay, if you're back, give me a yes, okay, hands raised, whatever you want to do so that I know I can start and none of you misses this. Okay, good. Thank you. Let's start with chapter number 2, my friends. Strategic analysis. Okay. The two important situational considerations for strategic analysis are: one, the industry and the competitive conditions. The conditions of the industry keep changing and the conditions of the competition keeps changing. Industry change हो रही है, competition change हो रहा है. What do you mean by change in industry? Give me some examples of the changes that are happening in the industry. Give me some examples. Let's see if you can figure out. The important situation consideration is the industry conditions change. What do you mean by that? New laws? Okay. अभी तो बहुत recent है, आपको पता होना चाहिए. US tariffs. US tariffs. Heard about US tariffs? Yeah, that is industry condition. If from tomorrow, let's say you cannot export a lot of stuff to the US, if you cannot export a lot of stuff to the US, a lot of companies in US cannot export goods and services, or if they can, it's not cannot, if they export, they have to charge or pay a lot of customs, a lot of tariffs. They have to pay money to export. So अब TCS, Infosys, Wipro, who are outselling Indian services to US, now they have to pay a lot of tariffs on their services. So agar if they're doing a business of $10 billion, assuming, and they have to pay 10% tariff, तो $1 billion तो उनको सिर्फ टैरिफ में पे करना पड़ेगा. इतना तो प्रॉफिट नहीं है जितना टैरिफ चला जाएगा, right? So then the business might even become not profitable. I'm just giving you hypothetical numbers. Just think from a business perspective. So each business of big or small size, now it becomes costlier for you to do business with the US. So it's an industry condition you have to navigate. You have to be aware of. Number two is organization's own capabilities, resources, internal strengths. ये situational consideration है. Let's say, let's say you are a business person who has a factory and 5 people work in your factory. ठीक है जी? 5 people work in your factory. Your factory is of making agarbattis or incense sticks. You make those agarbattis or incense sticks that we call. You make those. That's your manufacturing. 5 people in your factory. One person is the main machine in charge. 4 other people are laborers who probably pack it, who dust it off, put raw material in the machine. But only one person knows how to operate the machine. That one person decides to leave your company. He says, I will not come to work from tomorrow. आप कहोगे क्या हो गया? कह रहे नहीं बस मैं जा रहा हूँ पहाड़ों में. आई एम डन विद जॉब एंड बिजनेस. आई एम शिफ्टिंग टू हिमाचल. मैं बहुत ज्यादा रील्स देख लिए. आई वॉच अ लॉट ऑफ इंस्टाग्राम रील्स. आई एम डन विद लाइफ. आई एम गोइंग टू हिल्स. चला गया. द पर्सन went away. The only person who knew how to work on a machine in your factory went away. अभी क्या करोगे दोस्त? What competition, what tariff, what environment, what competitive advantage, what core competency, everything gone. Your own capabilities, your own resources, your internal strengths, people, they also keep changing, sir. They also have situational considerations. They also keep moving. अब मैं कंपटीशन देखूं या अपने लोग देखूं? क्या मैं इंडस्ट्री समझूं या मैं अपने रिसोर्सेज समझूं? माय मनी, माय पीपल। द आंसर इज बोथ। साथ में देखना पड़ेगा। बिजनेस है। बिजनेस इज नॉट इजी माय फ्रेंड। Business is not easy. That is what we're saying. That is what is the two important situational considerations are: one, the industry and competitive conditions; number two, organizations' own capabilities, resources, and internal strengths, and the market position they have because of all of this. Clear? Two consideration. भाई question आता है इससे. I can tell you question comes from here. Clear? Okay. Very nice. Very, very nice. Now, how does that happen? External analysis will give you opportunities and threats. Internal analysis will give you strengths and weaknesses. External analysis will give you opportunities and threats. Have you guys heard about SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis के बारे में सुना है? Yes, बिल्कुल सुना है. Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Strength and weakness is internal. Strength and weakness is internal. ठीक है जी. Opportunity and threat is external. तो अभी जो हमने पीछे पढ़ा, कि जो हम पीछे ये पढ़ के आए हैं, the industry and competitive conditions and organizations own capabilities, this is SWOT analysis. ये तो SWOT analysis है. Industry and competitive conditions, this is opportunity and threat, ONT की बात हो रही है. Organizations own capabilities, resources, strength और weakness की बात हो रही है. ये तो SWOT analysis है. बिल्कुल है. This is also SWOT analysis. The internal analysis, chapter number 3, is strength and weakness. Chapter number 2, what we are doing is opportunity and threat. हम तो SWOT analysis पढ़ रहे हैं chapter 2 और 3 में. बिल्कुल. Yes, but in detail. But in detail, my friend. इतना आसान नहीं है कि हम SWOT analysis पढ़ रहे हैं सिर्फ. Okay? An accurate diagnosis of the business. An accurate diagnosis of the business is necessary for the management to decide on a sound long-term direction. Okay? The accurate diagnosis of what? Of business situation, where the business is, how is it doing, is necessary for management to decide long-term direction, appropriate objectives, and a winning strategy. Right? These things are important. आपको अपना strength देखना है, weakness देखना है, opportunity देखनी है, threat देखना है. इन सबको देख के ही strategy बनानी है. You have to create a strategy based on these. The accurate diagnosis of the business situation is necessary for management to decide on what makes sense, a sound long-term direction, an appropriate objective, and a winning strategy. ठीक है जी. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. That is right. Now, इतना आसान होता तो सब कर लेते. Why would businesses fail? If this would have been so easy, तो फिर बिजनेस करना मुश्किल कहाँ होता? Why would 99% of the startups fail if this was so easy? It is not so easy. Why is it not so easy? Because 1, 2, and 3. 3 issues to consider for strategic analysis, my friend. Number 1, strategy evolves over a period of time. भाई ये कौन समझाएगा मुझे? Strategy evolves over a period of time is It's a blend of proactiveness and reactive decisions. कभी हम proactive होंगे, कभी reactive होंगे. We will make a decision, take a decision, execute, figure out if it's right or wrong, change it, make a new decision, take a new decision, do it. Figure out if it's right or not, take a decision, make a decision, do it. अभी ये चलता रहेगा. कभी कुछ होगा, कभी कुछ होगा. Something or the other will keep happening. We will keep reacting. We will keep taking proactive actions, and my overall strategy will evolve over a period of time. सो स्ट्रेटेजिक एनालिसिस करते हुए मैं सोचूं यार आज मेरा कंपेटिटर तो ये है, आज मेरी स्ट्रेंथ तो ये है. दैट्स नॉट गोना स्टे फॉर लॉन्ग पीरियड. इट वुड चेंज if when Flipkart started, okay, when Flipkart started, the advantage or the strength was first mover advantage. They were the first one doing that. Flipkart ka when they started business, the advantage or the competitive advantage was, the strength was, the opportunity in the market was that they were the first ones doing something like that. Snapdeal tha, Flipkart tha, but they were still somebody very new doing that. Okay. Now my question here is, my friend, today, what's the strength of Flipkart? Is it still that they are the first mover advantage? Maybe not. So what's the strength of Flipkart today? What's the strength of Flipkart today? What do you think? Is it still first mover advantage? Yes or no? The answer is no. Today, their strength has become variety, speed, right? The kind of catalog they have. They sell everything, large customer base. They have mass appeal. They have brand image. Flipkart अब ज़्यादा ऐड नहीं करता है. Flipkart has stopped spending on advertisement. Did you realize that lately? पहले Flipkart की कितनी ऐड आती थी, अब नहीं आती. Flipkart has stopped advertising themselves. They only advertise during the big billion days, right? Only during big billion days they will advertise like crazy, but बाकी पूरा साल का ऐसे ऐड नहीं आती फ्लिपकार्ट की. Strategy evolves over a period of time, my friend. It's evolving over a period of time. When they were growing, when they needed customers, they advertised every single place, every single day. Today they have customers, people know them, so they don't want to spend money on advertisements. Number two, balance of external and internal factors. The issue with strategic analysis is कि जब आपको लगेगा the things are in your favor, something internally will go wrong. When you feel things are not working for you externally, आपकी टीम बहुत मोटिवेटेड होगी. आप कहोगे भाई ये क्या मुसीबत है. The balance of external and internal factors has to be a perfect blend. You have to time it. You have to time it. Like I said, you are in incense stick business, agarbatti business. The main person working on the machine leaves, and you get an order for 50,000 units from a big store. Let's say आपको बिग बाजार वालों ने कहा अरे आप हमारे पैन इंडिया बिग बाजार में अपना प्रोडक्ट रखिए, keep your product and we will promote your product. Give us 50,000 boxes. लेकिन 50,000 बॉक्स की अपॉर्चुनिटी बनाने वाला आदमी भाग गया. So issue with strategic analysis is I can go and figure out, oh, my opportunity is this, my threat is this, my competitor, my industry, my pricing. Internally सब खत्म हो रहा है. Then doesn't make sense. It has to be a balance of both. It has to be a balance of both. Then you can probably tell Big Bazaar, maybe I don't have resources right now, but if you give me an upfront 10 lakh rupees, I can hire somebody and give you that order. Would you be happy to invest in my business? Yes or no depends on them, but you can still try. Balance external and internal forces. Number three, my friend, is risk. सबसे बड़ा रिस्क है आपका assumption ही गलत हो गया. The biggest risk is your assumption went wrong. I'll give you an example of strategic analysis, assumption risk. You are studying taxation. मान लेते for example, you reach a chapter called capital gains. You see अच्छा capital gains मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है. I leave this. Well, I have seen last 3 attempts. They have not asked a question on capital gains. So I think capital gains का question नहीं आएगा. You think, you assume, you analyze. From last 3 attempts, capital gains का question नहीं आया, and I don't understand. I find it very tough. I leave that topic and go to the exam hall. चलेगा? First question, capital gains. Third question, capital gains. क्या करोगे दोस्त? You will sit and cry. What else can you do? This is the risk of your strategic analysis, but your assumption is wrong. You are doing strategic analysis, 3 attempts, it hasn't come, very tough. Let's leave. आएगा भी तो कितना? 5 marks आ जाएगा. I'll leave it. I'll give away 5 marks to donation. What a strategic analysis, my friend. But the risk to your strategic analysis is the assumption that they don't ask capital gains is wrong. This time they asked for 15 marks. Karo maze. Right? That's the same thing that happens in the business. You might assume, oh, the customer wants this, customer likes this, customer wants a lot of this. Customer says, किसने बोला? हमें तो नहीं चाहिए. You put so much time, effort, money building a product. Customer says, इसका क्या करूं मैं? Right? Now think about this. I'm thinking with you. You are a perfume maker, right? You are a perfume brand. You say, oh, people today like a lot of coffee. लोगों को कॉफी बहुत पसंद है. I will make a perfume which smells like coffee. कॉफी की परफ्यूम बनाते हैं. बड़ी अच्छी बात है भाई. Your analysis is that people like coffee. People like the smell, the aroma of coffee. तो परफ्यूम भी लगाएंगे. बहुत अच्छी बात है. You make a you spend 50 lakh rupees producing a perfume, manufacturing, branding, ये सब किया. Customer पहुंचे. Customer says, are you crazy? I like drinking coffee. I don't like coffee on my body. I don't want to smell like a coffee bean. You're like, अरे मैंने तो सोचा आपको कॉफी पसंद है. But your analysis is not right. But for you it was right, but market tells you it wasn't right. Now, this is a risk to strategic analysis. You think there is a opportunity, there is a threat. Maybe that threat is not there. आप ही डर के बैठे हुए हो. Maybe you are too scared of the threat in the market, but that is not a real threat. You don't know. That is a risk to strategic analysis. So issues with strategic analysis are 3. 1, it evolves over a period of time. So you have to continuously keep chasing something कि हाँ ये करते चलो, ये करते चलो, ये करते. इतना analysis का paralysis हो जाता है. There is paralysis from analysis. Number 2 is you have to balance external and internal factors, right? Inside and outside. Number 3, the risk of either your assumption not working or the environment changing as a whole. भाई environment ही change हो गया. आप बना रहे हो पेट्रोल का इंजन. ईवी मार्केट आ गई. बनाते रहो पेट्रोल का इंजन. राइट? Anything can happen. The industry changes, the trend changes, the consumer preference changes. Your assumption was wrong. That's a risk to strategic analysis. So 3 big issues in strategic analysis, my friend, on your screen. Now certain examples. Let's take example of Nestle. Nestle ने क्या किया जी? Nestle adjusted its strategy by investing significantly in digital marketing and e-commerce. मैगी हर जगह मिलती है अब. Even Zepto, Blinkit, कहीं से भी मंगा लो, बिग बास्केट, हर जगह मैगी तो मिलती है. That's by Nestle. So Nestle is not rigid. It's evolving over a period of time. ऐसे नहीं कह रहे हम तो दुकान पे देंगे ये आजकल के छोटे स्टार्टअप्स को हम. आई डोंट वांट टू सेल मैगी ऑन स्मॉल न्यू एज स्टार्टअप्स. नो नो नो, दे नॉट डूइंग दैट. दे से, oh, the market is there, I'll go and do that. Okay? Yes, yes. Noodles नहीं, मैगी. Okay. Blinkit has embraced sustainability by altering its packaging strategy. You see, Blinkit comes in a recycled paper. So what they're doing is they're doing strategic analysis of what sells, what triggers the customer's emotion. अरे रिसाइकल्ड पेपर में आ रहा है, कितनी अच्छी कंपनी है, रिसाइकल्ड पेपर में भेज रही है, बहुत अच्छी बात है, थैंक यू, राइट. ICICI बैंक, एक्सटर्नल challenges posed by regulatory, RBI रोज नया रूल ले आता है. RBI comes and says this is the new rule. ICICI बैंक, HDFC बैंक सर पकड़ के बैठ जाते हैं कि अरे यार फिर चेंजेस आ गए. But they navigate those external challenges. They keep evolving their strategy. They analyze how can we become better or comply with this. Mintra, beauty and fashion e-commerce sector. It balances the fierce competition. भाई नायका, फैशन शॉपर, स्टॉप, वेस्ट साइड, लाइफस्टाइल, H&M, Zara, नोबेरो करके कंपनी आ जाती, कभी कभी कोई और कंपनी आ जाती है, राइट. सोल स्टोर आ जाता है, देन मैक्स आ जाता है, मैक्स क्लोथिंग आ जाती है. So many competitors in the market, and they're just fierce competition, changing consumer behaviors with strong internal capabilities in supply chain. Like I said, it's trying to build a brand image, a market presence that is valued by the customer, right? That's how they're making a presence felt. That is how they're making their presence felt. So think about this. How is Sun Pharma, the Amazon India, and LIC, how are they navigating all these issues? How are they navigating these issues within the organizations, like external, the internal, कि गवर्नमेंट आती है कहती है आज से ड्रग्स के ऊपर दिस इज द न्यू लॉ. Amazon comes and says, "Oh, okay, I'm a foreign entity. I can't invest so much in India. I have to do joint ventures. I have to comply with government." Flipkart, Myntra, सब fight कर रहे हैं मेरे से. Zepto आ गया, कभी कुछ आ गया. LIC, private players are coming and taking over the insurance business. LIC is struggling to survive. How do you think they're doing strategic analysis? Think about it yourselves. That's your homework. Think about it. What are these organizations doing to solve their problems? Okay. So before I go to strategic risks, I'll wrap up the session here. It's already 9 to. What I'll do is I'll open the session for questions and answers now. Okay. Tomorrow we start with this very important and interesting topic कि भाई the risk in strategic analysis. What happens if your assumptions were wrong? What can happen with the business if the environment changes, if people change, if you change, if I change? What happens with the business? ये पढ़ेंगे कल in strategic risk and beyond. Okay. What I'll do now is I'll stop share, go right on the chat, and open the chat for questions. You can drop your questions on the chat. You can raise your hand. I'll be happy to unmute you and you can ask your questions here. Feel free. It's your classroom. Ask as many questions as you can. No question is a wrong question. Feel free. It's your classroom, my friend. Use it. Use this time to ask your doubts, questions, anything related to examination as well. We have esteemed ma'am here. You have any conceptual, any question related to what we study, how to study, feel free to shoot that question. Can I depend 90% on your notes and 10% on the module? No, you have to do the reverse, Shiansh. एग्जाम मेरे नोट्स से नहीं आएगा. सो डोंट कम एंड कैच मी लेटर सेइंग ओ आपकी पीपीटी में ये कॉन्सेप्ट ऐसा, देयर वाज नो लाइन लाइक दिस बट एग्जाम में तो ये स्टेटमेंट आ गई, बिकॉज स्टडी मटेरियल में वो स्टेटमेंट होगी. सो you can't depend on the notes for examination. Okay, you'll come and tell me, oh, there was no I have just done a crisp 1-2 lines about every concept. questions तो आएंगे deep, like we just practiced in question one, in chapter one assignment. Supriya, Priyanka, Anamika, Babai, anything? You guys are active on the BOS chat. Anything, any question that you feel, please feel free to ask. Smriti, no questions, no doubts. Awesome. Kinnari, very nice. Let me just unmute you and you can ask your question. Here you go.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, how are you?
Thank you, sir. Good. How are you?
Good, good, good.
Sir, my question was in the assignments which you gave the assignment you gave last time, there was questions related to the proactive and reactive blend.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so my question was, how could we judge whether the proactive element should be little more or the reactive element? Because the question was confusing on the base of key proactive element should be the priority or the reactive element. Even in the other two questions which I saw from BOS site regarding previous papers and RDPs, this was the question. How would we identify if proactive ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है इस point particular point पे या reactive?
So, okay, to answer this, the question itself will tell you where the focus was. Okay, if you're getting confused कि कौन सा ज़्यादा है, which one पे ज़्यादा focus, read the scenario carefully. The scenario will answer already. Like we practiced today, जो हम बात कर रहे थे बिजनेस की, they were proactive to go and do a sugar free, they were proactive to go and do a different strategy because they saw competition. So eventually आंसर पे डिपेंड, आपके बिजनेस केस पे डिपेंड करेगा. There is no right answer कि कौन सा ज्यादा होना चाहिए. It's just the way you manage your business. Some businesses will react more, they can't be proactive. Some businesses will be very proactive. It's just like how we are. You might be very proactive. आपको अगर डर लगता है यार examination है, you'll practice more ahead of exam. Somebody will wait for the last week to get so much stress and then start practicing, right? So the business scenario itself will tell you that that particular scenario, that particular business in the question preferred what more. Was it more proactive? Was it more reactive? Based on that, you have to answer. ऐसा कोई right or wrong नहीं है कि ये ज्यादा होना चाहिए या कम होना चाहिए. Both are ways of doing business.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, Gary, for starting the question hour for us. Guys, feel free to ask. It'll be good to talk to you because now we have a facility. Raise your hand. I'll be happy to unmute. Hello, ma'am.
Hi. I would like to add on the question which the
Sure.
student has asked, that what is basically proactive strategy and what is basically reactive strategy, and how we will identify that which one is more in a particular situation, which strategy organization should opt. So, my dear students, I would like to say that please see the scenario very carefully, read it twice, thrice, and try to understand that which steps the organization is taking for forward approach, the approach which is used in that particular scenario in which we are going forward looking. Those strategies are called proactive. A proactive strategy is always a forward looking approach where a business anticipates, right? Anticipates and acts on future opportunities as well as threats. Opportunities as well as threats before they arise. So you have to identify that if it happens, then it is a proactive strategy. And if the response based approach is going on, where business acts like after changes or problems have already occurred, so in that case, it is reactive strategy, right? I think it is clear now.
Yeah, you can give it on the chat if it's clear. We'll be happy to see.
Yeah. Apart from that, if anybody have any question related to chapter 1, whether it is technical or any kind of question, we are willing to give you the answers.
Absolutely. Supriya, I see one on the BOS chat you've written. You just have to revise to get the doubts. Absolutely. You'll get more doubts when you revise. So
Even students, whatever we are moving to for chapter 2, but if during the whole sessions of LVC, if you find any query pertains to any of the topic, you are always welcome. It's not like that we are stick for only chapter 2. If you are going for chapter 2, then it's not like that. Whenever you feel that we are not able to understand this, you are always welcome. The faculty will address all the queries.
sure,
Right?
ma'am. Absolutely.
Yeah. Any query, Ajit?
Ma'am, we have one question. I think I'll let you take that. I'll read that question out for you, please. The question from Shreyansh is, what is the marks allotment ratio in the correct answer between correct explanation if the question is of 7 marks?
Oh, first of all, I would like to tell you that the question is in strategic management, there is no question of 7 marks. Right? Shreyansh? Beta, please go through the MTPs, mock test papers. They are exactly what the allocation of marks is being given in your question papers. See the suggested answers, past attempt question papers. There is no question of 7 marks in strategic management, right? But there are questions of 5 marks. It again depends upon the nature of the question, right? If there is a question of case scenario based question or small caselet is there, first of all, you have to identify that what basically have been asked by the examiner for that what should be the correct answer, what correct strategies you have to first identify, right? Then you have to write upon that strategy, as your faculty Arjit Sethi already told you that first you have to identify that what should be the correct one. After that, you have to write down, then on the basis of that, what body as well as the conclusion, which is very, very important to write down the conclusion also. So I think it's clear, Priyansh.
Yes,
Any
thanks,
other
ma'am.
query? Any
Yes,
other
ma'am.
query?
I have one. I'll read it for myself. Okay.
Yeah,
Can we
yeah.
get answers for assignment question which I've uploaded? Absolutely, we can. But first, you have to practice, Priyanka. We will upload, not right away. We want you to practice as well. So first practice, and very soon, once we upload, I'll keep you updated. But because first I give you answers, you'll just read it. But we want you to practice the
So
assignments.
basically, Ajit, I would like to add on,
Sure.
on it that these assignments, these are the assignments. These are for these assignments are just to check that, or you can say just to evaluate yourself that where you are lying right now. So my dear students, don't go for that, that whatever the institute will provide you, you will just grasp and do it. No. You have to think. These assignments are for your evaluation, for your knowledge, as well as whatever doubts you feel that it is not, we are not able to do it, or we are not able to give the answer. You are always welcome to come up with these queries with your faculty. There is no issue, but don't expect that everything we will put it in writing and you will just simply grasp. No. Try to understand, bacha, we are here not for just for this ke bhai aap exam mein pass ho. We want our students ke they understand the concepts and they implement the concepts and grow more and more in their life. The purpose is little bit different. Your purpose is just to pass the exam, but our purpose is something different. Right?
Perfect. Thanks, ma'am. I think
Yeah.
that helps.
Yeah.
Okay, Prem, there's a statement from you which says to tackle problem reactive and to achieve something new for long term or short term, we have to be proactive. The statement is kind of true. Okay, Prem. Not generally, because with reaction also you can achieve great heights. But what you're saying is absolutely right. Proactive actions really help you go a much longer way rather than reactions. Reactions are quick decisions which might be right or wrong. It can go wrong because the time to take decisions is less. Proactive is more thought for and it's more long term. So it's better you are more proactive, but really it's a blend of both. You can't be proactive for the environment which is ever changing. But your statement is kind of true. Okay. Again, it really depends on the scenario, the situation we are talking about. Guys, feel free to ask questions, doubts. Ma'am is here, I'm here. Any doubts you have, use the time. You can raise your hands as well if needed. We'll be happy to answer.
Okay, I think
Sure. You can
uh,
wrap up, ma'am.
yeah. As we come to the conclusion of this insightful session, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to CA Arjit Sethi for sharing his expertise and providing us with a comprehensive understanding of strategic management. His detailed explanations on its concepts, importance, limitations, levels, as well as in chapter 2, external environmental analysis, the way he taught you from the very beginning that this may be like value chain. This is, I'm really appreciate and thankful to see Arjit Sethi, and have certainly enriched our knowledge, right? A special thanks to all the students for their active participation and engagement. Your enthusiasm, curiosity made this session truly interactive and meaningful. My dear students, I appreciate that. Please ask more and more questions so that you can understand and clear your doubts. And I would like to say one more thing, that please fill the feedback form. Wherever you feel that there is a scope of improvement, I request all my students that please fill the feedback form and send us your queries on our email IDs, as well as through ask your query through mobile app, wherever you feel, beta. Wherever you feel that you can put your queries, we are very happy to know that these are your queries, and we will be more than happy to solve your all the queries, because this the basic purpose, the basic objective of all these classes and whatever the support BOS is providing you, the main objective of all the efforts are just simply that we can extend hands to for our students. Right? With this hope, this session has provided you with valuable insights that will help you in your academic journey and professional endeavors. Keep exploring, keep learning, and thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
See you tomorrow. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.